Hello, today I'd like to welcome Helen Lobozzo, partner and head of client care at Taylor Rose TTKW. Thanks for coming along and having a quick chat with us. So the first question I'd like to ask you is just, what does great client experience look like to you?
I think this is something that we've focused on really heavily at Taylor Rose. I think what people forget is that feedback and reviews is a really good opportunity to celebrate successes, whether that's individual, a team success, something perhaps significant in terms of a result, in how that matter went, and really sharing that with the public. Not only is it good for the business in terms of what the business can see coming in from having this transparency about good feedback, but it's also really rewarding for individuals. You can really boost somebody's morale by celebrating all the good things that they're doing in a public space.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of looking at it. Actually, lots of people talk about the value at the firm level, but we often miss the fact that it can be really beneficial for people individually as well.
I think so. I think also when you're becoming a larger business, things are kind of developing and growing inside your business as well. You have to also realise that as the structure grows, individuals may not necessarily get seen by kind of all those at the top level. So again, to add to that kind of personal development, it's also a chance to kind of shine, and get recognized by their kind of peers, or people that can really influence the business.
Yeah, nice. I like that. It's a really great way of looking at it. So if somebody's then trying to build that up within their business, people often talk about there being sort of internal barriers and things like that that kind of stop people doing more client listening. What might be your sort of best tip or something to help people kind of move forward?
My top tip would be to find somebody that is really positive and enthusiastic and passionate about everything that they're doing. And that can start by having a conversation. Doesn't need to be anything formal. You could have a one-to-one conversation just like we're doing right now, and talk about what do they love doing, and what are the successes that they're seeing from the things that they're doing. I think getting somebody really enthusiastic about the work that they actually give out and that they're kind of trained to deliver, and kind of making them realise that actually all getting feedback is doing is just putting it on a public platform for them. So, not only is it kind of talking and engaging them about what they really love about their job, it's also getting them to push it into the limelight. So from our experience, I would say, if you've got a small handful of individuals that are really passionate and believe in exactly what they're delivering, if they can start to be like the kind of trailblazers, if you like, for getting reviews, I think others will kind of see that and see the benefits of the successes they're getting, and that often gives a chance to repeat and continue on that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important, that so often people see feedback as a negative, but actually it's a positive. And when you start getting people kind of championing, feeling positive about feedback, it kind of lifts everybody else and makes everyone else a bit more open to hearing from clients.
I think it's really easy to kind of get into the daily grind of the everyday job life that you're doing and processing and all that normal stuff that you're really used to doing. But then when you start to get feedback, it actually like injects a bit of energy into you. So you feel that what you are delivering is really worthwhile. And that's quite satisfying as an individual as well. So you're getting that personal satisfaction in that you're delivering something really good, and people are talking about it. And also you're starting to get that kind of internal recognition as well. You start to get reviews, and the business has like really positives from it. The they're going to start noticing those individuals and also those teams. You know, perhaps a team that kind of bumbles along and does everything right, but isn't shouting about it, all of a sudden gets that stage and can be kind of centre for that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I love your perspective on client experience. It sounds like it's going really well for you.
Yeah, it is. I think it's one of those things that's going to be an ever continuing journey, and we're really committed to kind of continuing on that journey and delivering all that insight back into the business. And personally, the directors love all that inside knowledge that they feel in touch with the business and know exactly what's going on with the floor, in terms of the people that are actually doing the day-to-day work. So it keeps their focus. It helps them look at where improvements might need to happen as well. So you could call it negative, but I prefer to call it improvements, because it is exactly that. A business should be ever evolving, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember you talking on another webinar about the fact that that constant flow of information just helps the people at the top stay connected with what's happening out with clients day
Yeah,
to day.
it really does. So, I mean, we're really conscious about delivering that insight regularly. And I think that's one of the important things. If you're going to give that kind of insight into the business, it needs to be in a measured, digestible way. And it needs to be frequent as well. There's kind of little point doing something like that on, say, an annual basis, because too much can happen in a long space of time. So those kind of regular little touches are really useful to kind of key business members that make decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great place to close. I think that's a great way of looking at it. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate your time.
You're
Thanks a lot.
welcome. Thanks for
Cheers.
having us.
Bye.